Former Attorney General Pam Bondi diagnosed with thyroid cancer. I know that when you see me and a political figure is behind me, you know that I'm going to say something disparaging. Rightfully so, because they deserve it. 10 times out of 10, that's true. But this video is actually about women. This video is actually about a book. This video is about autoimmune diseases. This video is for daughters, mothers, sisters, and especially if you were the eldest, especially if you were made to parent children that were not your own. This is going to be a long one. Lock in. I just finished reading this book, Autoimmunity and the Good Girls, How Permission to Put Ourselves First Has the Power to Keep Us Well. This book comes out June 2nd. This is in no way paid promotion, but it's in relation to Pam Bondi and thyroid cancer. So this woman, Sarah Bordeaux, has written this book about the effects of being a good girl, the effects of being a people pleaser and putting everybody before yourself. There has been, she put her own money in this research because nobody has looking at it. She said that out of the 100 plus autoimmune diseases, 80% of them are had by women. 80% of autoimmune diseases are had by women. And so she goes on to explore the correlation between the good girl syndrome, the perfectionist, always trying to look out for other people instead of yourself, how when you get older, it leads to the development of autoimmune diseases. And you know how I know this is true? Bitch, I got one. I got an autoimmune disease. I have Hashimoto's, right? And it's something that I realize now that I probably had in my late 20s. Early 30s, but didn't get diagnosed till later. And all of that comes into play. Now, this list is a list of some of the autoimmune diseases and some of the cancers that the women that were interviewed for this book mentioned that they had. And something that is seen prevalent in women, fibroids, endometriosis, like all of these things. And there's little to no research being done about it. What the hell does this have to do with Pam Bondi? Now, in this book, she mentions a lot about how it is almost always the eldest daughter who comes down with a lot of these chronic conditions. And so when I saw that, this was last night, when I saw that Pam Bondi developed thyroid cancer, I immediately thought about those files because she has seen those files. She has seen what these men have done. These files that left other women walking out, crying, just verklempt at the things that they saw in these files. She has seen it all and she didn't say anything. She kept that all on the inside. And so after reading the book and how much she talked about this, applying to eldest daughters, I'm not the oldest, but the shit still apply to me, right? And so I said, I wonder, do Pam Bondi have any siblings? And then I said, I wonder if Pam Bondi is the eldest daughter. She is. She is the eldest daughter. And I was like, this is uncanny because this is what the research has shown and proven. And so I said, thyroid, that's the throat, right? And let's look at some chakras. These are chakras. These are energy centers. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you about it because I don't feel like it's my place. There are far more qualified people to tell you about it. But I do know, like I said, that they are energy centers and they focus on different aspects of your body. The goal is to have it aligned, have them all open, right? So your chakras can be either open, overactive, or underactive. So let's take the throat, for example, the throat chakra. Overactive throat chakra, you always talking in everybody's business, gossiping, over talking people, right? Not listening. Just talking. An underactive chakra is silencing yourself, not speaking up for your needs, not advocating for yourself, right? Now, on the physical, like what that looks like in physical ailments, sore throats, consistent sore throats. Are you always catching a sore throat? Always hoarse, laryngitis, thyroid cancer, throat cancer. This is what happens when that chakra is consistently I was going to say sequestered, consistently pressed down and diminished, right? And again, if you are a chakra healer, please hop in the comments and let people know. I'm not above correction. But to see Pam Bondi get this diagnosis of thyroid cancer and to know that she didn't say anything about all of the things that she read about what these men did to women, children, and boys and other men, and not say nothing, there's no way you could take all of that in and not get nothing on the back end. And you the eldest daughter. So all you do is just take what people say and push it down, and not speak up for yourself. Wow. The correlation is crazy. This book isn't about like new age healing or anything like that. It is about learning how to speak up for yourself. So many women in the book spoke about how they were raped or molested or made to feel unsafe, and they never said anything. And the way that she addresses the little ways that parents don't even recognize they do it to their daughters. Be a good girl and help mommy. Be a good girl and bring me the diaper. Be a good girl and finish your homework. Like, it's all centered around being a good girl, performing, right, for other people, being a perfectionist. And even if you feel like you do not do that to your child, when you only praise them for being good, it inadvertently tells them that I can only benefit my family, I can only get praise if I'm being good. And being good in a child's mind may be not telling when uncle did something to me because I don't want to make anybody mad, right? There are grown women walking around carrying these autoimmune diseases and cancers from things that happened to them when they were children. My takeaway for me from this book, cuss them out on right then. Don't hold back, because for Black women, the added pressure is not wanting to be, not to feed into that Black angry woman trope. And so we will silence ourselves. Now, to the world, it may not seem like it because our face give it away. But how many of you, my sisters, have kept quiet just to keep the peace? I'm not going to say nothing. This is a good ass book. But it will hurt your feelings. But again, that's not the reason why I did this video. This video is for me, and I invited you all along because this to me was a warning as a woman, because I have Hashimoto's. It affects the thyroid, right? And when I was younger, I silenced myself because I felt misunderstood and that nobody cared. So I was an isolationist. I'm just not gonna say nothing. Then nobody will be able to misunderstand me. I'm just going to keep to myself. And now that I'm older, I've developed an autoimmune disease behind it. And in the book, it's not her talking about different medicines and all of that stuff. You have to address the hurt that you dealt with as a child. I don't care if it happened at 3, because what? The body keeps the score. So you can take all the medicines in the world. You can go to all the gurus. You can tap into the herbs. You have to do the fucking work in order to be better. This woman was able to put because she had multiple, she was able to put all of her autoimmune diseases in remission by dealing head on with the things that she went through, whether she verbalized it or not at the time, as a child. The pills always won't work. You got to get in the goddamn trenches. Again, not yelling at you, yelling at me. I gotta go make a therapy appointment.